how it's going to
Can you
work.
just introduce yourselves just for a moment?
Oh, good. I'll introduce people. That's John Tavano on the guitar.
Woo!
I forget this woman's name.
That's Espaillat.
And I'm Alfred Nicole.
And he's a member of the Powder River Poets, one of the early members, and he is one of our very best. He's a magnificent poet and lyricist. He has written songs with John Tavano and made CDs of them. So we're dealing with major stuff here. Quiet now. Quiet now, the wind is reading a story, riffling through green volumes of spruce and balsam, unearthing fables from the ruins of lichen, elucidating parables of crows propped open on the lectern of naked maples. Patience. The wind is reading a long story with miracles in it. Rumors of the marsh weeping for joy over the sky's reflection. Promise of resurrections, of pale crocus lifting its crown from the wreckage of summer. Skimming every field, uncovering old plots on those white pages time writes on. The wind goes where the snake waits in its hole, deaf as the heart in its cage of longing. Be still now. Listen. The wind is reading you a story. It's best if you wait and then at the end overwhelm us with applause.
Oh my God, this is going to be a long night.
Things that go. Hoop and arrow, wheel and dart, kite and rocket, stream and heart. Fan and motor, mill and train, water wheel, remembered pain. Summer, autumn, winter, spring, desire and desired thing. Suns that burn and rains that weep. Children you once rocked to sleep. Suns that burn and rains that weep. Children you once rocked to sleep. Never gets it right.
I did it.
October 1962. Up in the bathtub early, not at night. Get dressed, put on your brand new underwear. Between your sisters on the couch, sit tight. Come here a minute, let me comb your hair. This was an actual emergency, although my baby brother didn't care on mother's lap, or I wished I could be, not looking at the television set. Russia was gearing up for World War III with JFK. Nobody'd shot him yet. She spent the afternoon preparing us. I guess we were prepared as we could get. Maybe she pictured Mount Vesuvius, not an atom bomb, but still, the closest thing. It would explain her making all the fuss. She wouldn't quit or waste time wondering exactly what to do with one last day. She planned for what the future still might bring and tried to get us ready in her way for when someone unburied our Pompeii.
Would you mind if I do it again?
What more to it? Part of the fun of this is picking on them.
I have no idea.
Lullaby for a Scholar. Lay down your pen, put out your lamp. Read no more of Charlemagne. The room is cold, the night is damp. History is an endless rain. And quiet, soft-veiled sleep is fine. As fine as any bold endeavor. The knight at arms must taste its wine. No king held such dominion, ever. Withdraw from dull, exacting sense, the same in Latin as in Greek. Achilles lounges near the tents and frowns to hear his elders speak. A brief existence, long renown. Achilles made the hero's choice, but press your ear to eider down, attentive to a deeper voice. Too long detained where lives are made of words, narrow argument, where every meaning has a shade and every text its variant. Relinquish reason, take the loss. No reasoning is ever sure. And read the moonlight as a gloss of what your candle left obscure. The men are spilled and stain the ground. Their courage seeps beneath their shields. The hooves of armies make no sound. Shadows fall across the fields. Like them you hold what you believe till act and intellection cease. Your work is done. May you achieve a briefer and less certain peace. Always the ribboned banners trail the rider's plumes, rippling the air. Always the pride that cannot fail. Always the brazen trumpets blare. Always the sun above the plains. The battle hymn, the beat of drums. Such clarity your vantage gains, until, as always, darkness comes.
Both rank and sweet, from reedy depths that shimmered like swirled smoke, your laughter lifted, all but swept my feet over the thwart to find a seat beside you, Father, steadied by your outstretched hand. But cries of children born after you died woke me to my familiar place on land. I have grown older now than you were then, but not too old to be your child again.
The bat can take no pleasure in his being what he is. His wings do not become him. Nothing else that flies is as repugnant. A bat's a shudder imp, the anti-cherub. Even a pretty face, viewed upside down, appears grotesque and over-savage, pinched. The bat offends the eye when set aright. What of it then? The dark is not a mirror. Children, most, are mightily impressed with loathsomeness. Grossness recommends the running sore, cold, fish-eye dislodged. The leaky toad is cradled in the palm. A grand, outrageous excess of detail adorns the moldy slice of bread. The bat insinuates himself and is applauded. They toss their pebbles up to draw him down. A bat is happy dead, I would suppose. I saw one at the Peabody Museum. The dead let go of modesty, the need to hide. I stared. The difference in the eyes. Hard looks between us through the casing glass. Although the bat's and mine were equal as to heartlessness, his eyes were wholly empty, while mine retained the likeness of his glare. It's written in the Talmud, 7 years after his death, a hypocrite becomes a bat. The 7 years seem arbitrary. A friend of mine used Photoshop to morph two pictures of himself and of his wife to make one face. Rather awful, really. Maybe a hypocrite's two faces joined produce the hideous features of a bat. The bat must fly against the lyric impulse. He cannot sing. He has no eye for beauty. The sound he makes is not for human ears. It's all utilitarian technique, enabling the detection of an object finer than a strand of human hair in total darkness. There's nothing he can see to elevate his appetite to longing. As though forbidden any kind of depth, the bats stay on the surface of the night. The sky becomes opaque in back of them. There's no perspective there. No corridor to lead the eye to where the thin white lines begin in stars. The disconnected bats just scribble back and forth and up and down. They scrawl a thing that doesn't mean a thing. It's only that the eyes of bats appear as surfaces beneath which no depth lies. If they are windows painted black. And any window painted black becomes a mirror. Who wants to see himself in such a light? Worse than no light at all. For if the soul is thinner than a strand of human hair, it may go undetected. I wrap myself in darkness and go out to walk along the pier. No wind this hour, but only time that moves around and past me, whispering in its several languages, some words the bats may comprehend, not I. They gather black on black against the sky. Obscure and foreign are the passages they copy in the margins of the night.
Here. What bird are you? Repeating here, 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 and later what to do, as if distraught, and what to do again. And yet it's clear you're neither calling me nor overwrought, but occupied and singing quite by chance. Almost unseen, your feathered self, aware of nothing but each pressing circumstance, each straw for your light carpentry mid-air, tosses out songs in passing, line by line, not consciously, but idly thrown away on strangers' ears, as ignorant as mine. And still, I hear you say the things you say, swear I could almost knock on your green door, as if you meant it, and I knew what for. Look to the small birds. If a starved wind gnaw the woods bare, look to the small birds gleaning razor-cold air. In a fence-cornered haven scatter wild seed. Let no swift move frighten small birds that feed. Through days that drift like ashes and nights of stone, no one who shelters small birds is quite alone. Donde vive mi niñez,
Where childhood lives.
en las noches tibias de mi pueblecito, velan los mosquitos tras el mosquitero, como si en las largas fronteras del olvido estos centinelas pusiera el recuerdo. Y toda la noche una plática lenta entre el cincolloso y la poncherita, diálogo de pin y de pum que repite lo que dice gota por gota la llovizna.
In my hometown, the nights are warm, and flies are watchful at the net, as if remember posted guards along the borders of forget. And all night long in slow exchange of dialogue of plunk and plink, from leaky roof to rusty basin, echoes what the raindrops think.
Along the wall, oh, what am I doing? En el viejo muro cazan lagartijas. La mosca se queja de sus desencantos. Láminas devotas unen y confunden muertos venerados, los vivos, los santos. Gallos, 1, 2, luego 5, 6, acosan la noche de la loma al valle. Suspiran las criadas, chillan los colchones, venga la oración y la luz de la nafe.
Along the wall where lizards hunt, mosquitoes urge their long complaint, and pious photographs commingle the dead, the living, and the saint. One rooster, 2, then 5 or 6, from hill to valley rout the night, and maids sigh up from creaky springs to morning prayer and kitchen light.
Por mi callejuela de persianas mudas pasan burriquitos grises como el polvo. Tardan olfateando con el suave hocico cáscaras de fruta, galletas, despojos. Camino del río va tomando el alba, donde ayer perdura en recuerdo vivo, donde me conocen las piedras y el agua y me hacen caricias con nombres de niño.
Along my narrow, shuttered street trot little donkeys, gray as dust, stopping to nuzzle here and there at orange peel and cracker crust. And morning takes the river road down to the bank where childhood lives, where stones and water know my name and stroke me with diminutives. The guitar maker for Herbert Clancy. Like the signature in maple wood of sun-splashed rain, this man's bright pattern must remain beside the workbench where he stood smoothing the grain. Deprived of work, he would not rest for fidgeting. He lived to build a living thing that, by impassioned hands caressed, might learn to sing. This shop is where his spirit is. 12 months a year, the world arranged to meet him here, arriving in trust packages from far and near. Rosewood came from India, mahogany from the Caribbean Sea, and from Western Africa came ebony. Tone woods from Earth's four corners sent, he stacked here, stored beneath an image of our Lord, who made of him the instrument of their accord.
There we go, John. No, I got it.
Seeds. Summers at the zoo in Baltimore, the elephants are given watermelons. Pleasure goes rippling through their tough hides. You see it. Elephants are obvious. They're made to traipse about savannas where they trumpet their good spirits like rotund and rosy husbands crooning in the shower. The melons are so cool and green, they love them. They wrap their trunks around them, raise them up and smash them on the hard-packed earth. You'd need an Africa to house such gladness then. They bring the pieces to their mouths, they slurp them, they eat up everything, the rinds and all. There is a saying, the eating of a melon will produce 1,000 good works. So, these elephants have got it in them now to build a Taj Mahal. They're keen to start transporting heavy stones. all for love, they store up reservoirs of dawns. It's possible to work for days, shining from within. Illustrious projects stem from their delight. The elephants grow big with what's alive in their great hearts. That hard, bright seed, the sun, whose vigor draws the melon from the vine.
Bravo.
I want to say something that should have been said before. These two guys are family. They're my family, because the idea, the notion of the melopea, which was taught to me by my grandmother, I thought was finished. Nobody did them anymore. That was very 19th century. Then I happened to mention once to John Tavano that my grandmother had taught me to do poetry with music in the background. He said, "Oh, we have to do that." And we've been at it for what, 25 years now? Yes, that's right. And everybody loves melopea, which I thought was dead, but it isn't. And this is not only a marvelous guitarist, but also a marvelous composer. Because when we give him a poem, either one of us says, "John, what do you think about this?" If he doesn't find something that has already been written, he solves the problem. He writes it. He simply composes it, and everything he finds or composes is exactly right. So I think these two guys need an extra.
We know who really needs extra.
Thank you all so much for coming and for making this a once-in-a-lifetime experience. We're still open for another half hour or so if you want to buy some books, everyone you heard tonight, they have books here, so support them, support the bookshop. And thank you again to all the volunteers who helped make this possible, and to the interpreters, and Julieta, who is still hanging in there. Greg Hernandez, who is doing video, who got here at 11:30 or 45 in the morning.